Philadelphia was the manufacturing center of the 13 original colonies.
Philadelphia is an industrial city. It always has been, and it still is.
Availability of larger scale parcels is really critical to the growth of our industrial sector.
There's a massive amount of things that are still being produced and distributed in the Philadelphia area, like the building of ships. There's a shipyard, which is a converted military Navy base now in private use. You have industrial uses that run from major distribution facilities to small-scale artisan work to traditional manufacturing. This is a city that, because of its central location in the Mid-Atlantic, has access within a 200-mile radius to about 46 million people. That positions Philadelphia to be a tremendous place to distribute from. We have access to highways, 3 major freight rail lines, a robust airport, and a large port. But the other part of industrial production is the access to workforce. The region has about 4.5 million people. There is a very wide diversity of skills available. So great geography, a motivated workforce, and still land available to actually locate industrial uses, which these days tends to need larger amounts of land. And in the city of Philadelphia, obsolete industrial land, we're finding, can be converted readily to 21st century industrial land.
PIDC is Philadelphia's Economic Development Corporation. We work to implement the city's economic development initiatives and attract jobs and investment to Philadelphia. One of the things that PIDC found was critically important to the growth and sustainability of our industrial sector was the assembly and availability of large parcels that are properly zoned for industrial use.
Our role was to assess the industrial land in Philadelphia. So when PIDC and their partners looked to undertake an industrial strategy for the city, they wanted to understand not just the market, the potential for which businesses would be a good fit for Philadelphia, but also where those businesses might like to locate. For instance, a lot of potential for modern industrial uses in transportation and warehousing and even some manufacturing. They want to be in districts where there's a defined identity and close to infrastructure. So to make all of that happen, you really need this kind of land use survey to determine where the possibilities are to make those things happen and make them a good home for modern industry.
Teva Pharmaceuticals project in Northeast Philadelphia is one of the most exciting opportunities for our city's industrial sector in the last decade or so. Their facility is going to be the national distribution center from which all of their products will be distributed across the U.S. The Teva site is 135 acres. They are constructing a $300 million greater than 1 million square foot facility, which is going to house 400 permanent jobs. So one of the very exciting things about the Teva project is that it is the largest brownfield redevelopment project in the city's history, demonstrating the transition of Philadelphia's economy from an older line manufacturing base to a state-of-the-art national distribution center attracted to Philadelphia by our market access and by our transportation infrastructure. Some of the partners that were involved in helping to remediate the site and bring this project to fruition included the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's Department of Environmental Protection. Many of the industrial projects that have happened over the last several years have occurred on larger scale parcels, typically 30 acres and greater. So in addition to Teva, some of the examples of that would be the food distribution facility, the TJX distribution facility, and a number of others.
TJX Distribution Center in Northeast Philly was a very successful project for both Liberty Property Trust as well as TJX. The location and the development offered us the ability to redevelop a brownfield site, offer an important national tenant to Liberty the option to build a 1 million+ square foot pick and pack distribution center. And it's been one of TJX's most successful sites in the country for that type of operation. Most of the development that Liberty has done in the city of Philadelphia has been on brownfield sites. Those tend to be the infill sites that can accommodate the types of uses that we're developing. And it's really been a great opportunity for Liberty because of its commitment to sustainability. Infill sites offer the opportunity to use a precious resource, which is land.
When PIDC undertook the industrial land strategy, one of the things that we wanted to understand was what types of businesses within the industrial sector were the most likely to grow, both nationally, but also what had the best opportunity to be retained and to grow here within Philadelphia. So the 11 clusters that were identified as the key growth opportunities fall into essentially 3 categories. It's traditional manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, and distribution and warehousing. One of the industry clusters that was identified as a growth opportunity was in the apparel area. So an example of a PIDC client within that sector who has launched and grown their business within the city is a company called Sava.
Sava is a women's ready-to-wear brand. We are essentially a lifestyle apparel brand. So everything from casual Saturday clothes to event dresses, and they're all designed and made right here in Philadelphia. Manufacturing in Philadelphia has been great for us. Labor costs in China have risen 50 to 70% in the last 5 years alone. The cost of shipping things is increasing. It's definitely becoming more viable, particularly with the strength of the dollar, to manufacture here. Sustainability and local job creation is incredibly important to consumers in America. People are dedicated to not only purchasing things that are made in the United States, but to purchasing things made here in Philadelphia. Philadelphia has an incredible history in apparel and textile manufacturing, and we're trying to add to that and really recreate apparel manufacturing jobs as a noble profession, to have artisans come here and make things.
Papa John Woodworking is a fine woodworking business. We do furniture, cabinets, and other custom wood products. Finding qualified, skilled employees in Philadelphia has been a relatively easy thing for us. We've been able to attract and retain top-flight cabinet makers, finishers, helpers. Philadelphia is incredibly supportive of the artisanal clusters that exist here. There's an unbelievable supply of industrial buildings. Some of them are multi-floored, but I've found through my own experience that there is a tenant for every floor. Globe Dye Works is a development that several partners and I undertook. It's about 175,000 square foot building. We got it when it began to decay, and we've slowly been breathing life back into the project. And part of doing that has been attracting new tenants, and we found that a wide range of tenant fits there, from small artisanal manufacturers to bigger manufacturers. It's a great project with great potential for lots of different types of businesses.
One of Philadelphia's other competitive advantages as a business location is our immediate access to a very smart population. Philadelphia has more than 100 colleges and universities within its region, and the city's great concentration of educational and medical institutions provide access to a talent pipeline that's particularly well suited to these high-level positions available within specialized industrial businesses such as life science and pharmaceutical and medical device companies.
Hydros is a startup in the Philadelphia area that created a filtering water bottle. And the reason we started this company was to do something about the billion people who don't have clean water. And so for every bottle we sell, we donate part of the proceeds to building infrastructure in Africa, Central America, places where they don't have clean water today. Hydros started in the basement of a study hall at the University of Pennsylvania at 4 a.m. in the morning. I was studying engineering, my business partner was in Wharton studying business, and we were each looking at similar business ventures for creating some sort of social enterprise with a product behind it. One of the tremendous advantages of being located in Philadelphia is, number one, you've got the university and its support structure. You have the tremendous hiring pool. When you're recruiting for new members, you can hire smart students. And then you have a tremendous manufacturing base that is available for prototyping, production, and any stage of manufacturing of a product. And so that's been another tremendous resource, one that I think you only get being in a city like Philadelphia.
Microcision's a manufacturer of medical implant products. Part of being able to run a manufacturing company is the ability to recruit people that have the ability to grow into highly technical jobs. So when you're in an industrial-based city like Philadelphia, the recruitment is a lot easier than in the suburbs or elsewhere in the country. We have the advantage of being able to use low-cost financing for very expensive equipment through organizations like the PIDC. We also are in an area where the cost of living and real estate is very competitive, so we're able to maintain price advantages in more expensive areas of the country.
Philadelphia was the workshop of the world in large part because it could make anything. Just as it was at the center of the action in the colonial period, and it was at the center of the action in the industrial age, I think Philadelphia is going to be at the center of the action in the age we're moving into. I am absolutely convinced that all the ingredients needed to have opportunities emerge in the future are alive and well in Philadelphia.